Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. When it comes to choosing products for our own skincare routine, we have so much choice. Different products, brands, and ingredients. Honestly, I think we are blessed with the amount that we have to choose from. However, not all of the products that are available to us actually deliver the benefits that we want. And over the past couple of years, I've realised that some of the products that we reach for might actually be doing more harm than good. I've got 5 examples I want to share with you in today's video, because I think honestly, the more we understand about the products that we use, the better our overall skincare routine will be. So sit back, relax, and let's start the products to avoid. Now, before we get into this video, it's always worth remembering that everyone will have a different experience with different products. What works well for one person might not work well for someone else, and vice versa. These are just my thoughts, feelings, opinions based on 35 years worth of time on planet Earth, and I wanted to share them with you so hopefully you guys can improve your own routine. I would love to know what your thoughts, feelings, and opinions are on anything mentioned today, so make sure you sound off in that comment section below. Like I said, I use these products consistently in my skincare routine for years without really realising that actually they could be of detriment to my skin, which is why I want to share them in today's video. I want to get this message out there, and one way of helping me to achieve this is by reaching down and clicking that like button. The more likes the video gets, the more widely YouTube publishes it. So by giving the video a thumbs up, it's just one small way of helping me to get this message out there. Now, with all that being said, shall we cut the waffle and just delve straight on in? And the first set of products I want to call out as being potentially more harmful than beneficial in your skincare routine are low SPF sunscreens. I'm talking about the SPF 2, 4, 6 and 8 that bafflingly are still available for sale today. I think we all have an understanding that we really need to be reaching for a broad spectrum SPF of 30 as a minimum, and yet still brands create these low SPF sunscreens and other brands are willing to sell them in their retail outlets. It's like totally baffling, and the reason why I say these are potentially damaging is because I think they give us a false sense of security. There are people out there that says low protection is better than no protection, and I totally get that, but having used these low SPF sunscreens for years in my teens and 20s, they kind of made me feel invincible. A few spritzes of an SPF 4 and I was good to go, and honestly I never gave it a second thought. I wasn't actually getting the protection that I needed, I wasn't reapplying as often as I should, and I wasn't avoiding the sun because I thought, look, I've got my SPF on, I am good to go, and that just wasn't the case. I think this gives us that sense of invincibility and misleading sense of protection. So I hope in the next couple of years that brands will do away with these, because honestly none of them were actually that well formulated either, and with the margin of error, which means actually in an SPF of 4 you could be getting a 2 or a 6, you really don't know the protection that you're getting. Do away with them, go for an SPF of 30 as a minimum, and honestly your skin will thank you for it. If you're still struggling to find your perfect pairing when it comes to sunscreens, I captured some of my favourite broad spectrum options in a recent video, which I'm going to leave a link to up there. Check that out because all of those sunscreens are absolutely gorgeous, will feel super lightweight on the skin, won't clog the pores, break you out, and will give you a decent amount of protection. Throughout this video, when I'm calling out these products as potentially damaging rather than beneficial, there is zero judgment. I have used all of these in my skincare routine at some point, and the next set of products is no exception: sugar scrubs. I loved a good sugar scrub. The idea that you were taking away all that acne by just scrubbing it off the skin with these really harsh, abrasive scrubs actually gave me this sense of satisfaction. Honestly, they definitely do more harm than good, because by irritating, aggravating, and inflaming the skin by a too harsh a scrubbing motion, honestly, you're doing the opposite of what you hope to achieve. The very healthiest skin is one that's calm, soothed, and in equilibrium. And now I'm thankful that we have so many better exfoliators on the market. Unfortunately, sugar scrubs do still exist, like this one by Skin Food that I managed to find in one of these beauty boxes that they were giving away. This actually smells divine, but I don't know if you can see that on camera, is so coarse, so abrasive. And while some people will say sugar is natural, therefore it's safe, we need to get out of that mindset. Actually, natural products can damage our skin the same way that artificial ones can, and sugar is a fantastic humectant, but it needs to be in a suspension. It doesn't need to be in there in that great granular form, which is when it can cause damage. If you do like a little bit of an abrasive action to your skincare and feel like you miss out from that physical exfoliation, I totally recommend like an enzyme powder cleanser. This is a great way of getting that slight manual exfoliation but actually having extra benefits as well and minimizing any damage to the skin. My current favorite is this. This is the Jackson Lane Shake and Wake Enzyme Cleanser. It's in a powder, which when you blend it with some water, it gives a very, very light physical exfoliation, but then those enzymes take over. You get a gorgeous cleanse. It's minimum minimally abrasive so you're not damaging the skin, and it still gives you that satisfaction of that vague element of physical exfoliation and scrub that some of us do still crave. I'd say keep the sugar scrubs to the body, where honestly maybe we need a little bit more abrasive action, particularly like the elbows, the dry knees, but never use them on the face. Now, moving on from sugar scrubs to clay masks. I adored a clay mask, particularly in my teens when I was super oily and acne prone. I thought the very best way to deal with my acne was to just zap every last drop of oil from the skin, and then suddenly my acne would be cleared. Somehow that never actually worked, and I found that the more I stripped the skin, the more oily I ended up being, and that's because the skin ends up overcompensating, producing more oil to really compensate for the lack of it because you've removed it from all of these clay masks. I think used infrequently, a clay mask can be a great way of just, tackling some blackheads, congestion, and excess oil in the skin. But I know a lot of people that use them like every other day, or in some instances daily. And this is just way too much for the skin. Because clay doesn't smell that great, they're often also packed with a fragrance and other potentially irritating ingredients, which compounded with the clay, which is stripping the skin, is just like irritation overload. I do occasionally use a clay mask still, maybe like once a month when I'm feeling super oily, or I just want to do it as part of like wellness and self-care routine. Sit back, relax with that clay mask on, and honestly I do see some great benefits, but just stick to using it very, very infrequently. Two of my favourites are these. This is the Turmeric Blemish Control Clay Mask by Botanical Lab. I like this because it's got some hydrators in here alongside that clay, so it doesn't leave you feeling totally stripped and devoid of any oils. I also really like this, which is the Face Theory Pink Clay AHA Mask. This actually has an exfoliating acid to boot, so you're actually getting some extra benefit rather than just those clays. And again, some hydrators in here mean it's not totally stripping on the skin. I still, even though I love them, use these like once a month tops, and that's what I'd recommend for you guys, because I think we all overuse clays in the hope that it's going to detoxify the skin, remove all our blemishes and our blackheads, when in truth, a salicylic acid serum is going to deliver so much more benefit in terms of achieving those goals, and it won't leave you stripped and dried. My favourite at the moment is the ordinary salicylic acid anhydrous solution. Beautifully hydrating, but also decongesting. I did a full review of that, so if you want to see that, I'll leave a link to it up there. Move away from the clay masks, or use them much less frequently, and honestly, I think your skin will thank you for it. Now, product number 4 that I want to call out are peel-off masks, the one that dry to a sheet and then you can peel them off like you're taking away a top layer of skin. We already said how, if used too frequently, clay masks can be potentially damaging to the skin. The same goes for these peel-off masks. That's because they really adhere to the skin and you're pulling them off, and with that, you're pulling the skin in all these different directions, which honestly isn't the best practice when it comes to looking after our skin. Also, within these, to create that like film, to make sure it hardens down so you can peel it off, there's quite a few chemicals in there that honestly can create irritation, sensitivity and redness in the skin. So again, just be really super careful when you're using these. I think that most of the brands formulate these peel-off masks with that peel-off element in mind, rather than thinking about the ingredients that are actually going to do benefit, which means none of them, other than being a bit gimmicky, actually deliver a whole lot for the skin. I tried this one, which was the Pestalo Collagen Mask. I thought, oh, really keen to try it, and whilst it was super satisfying peeling it off, honestly, I don't think it delivered a whole lot of benefit for my skin. I think you're far better targeting your actives in a serum or a cream, and if you do really like that sense of peeling off this mask, be super gentle with it, and again, use them like once a month so you get that fix without actually doing too much damage to the skin. They often don't actually have a lot of benefit and could, with all that pulling and tugging, actually damage the skin. So I just say use them with caution, but if you do absolutely love them, just make sure it's a little bit of an infrequent treat rather than something you do daily or every other day. Now, finally, I want to call out these drying lotions. Now, I've spoke about this on the channel before, because drying lotions are something that honestly I swore by for the longest possible time. As someone that's still blemish and acne prone, even in my mid-30s, I know how challenging it can be to, minimize the size of a zit and increase the speed at which it heals. A lot of us will reach for drying lotions, which is designed to like zap that zit, minimize its size, shrink it overnight, and some of them do actually work. But I always find the more you use drying lotions, the more likely it is for that mark to scar and hyperpigment. That's because when we're stripping and drying the skin, that's taking away all that the body needs in order to heal. So actually, I think it can be a bit counterintuitive. I decided to go cold turkey 6 months ago and threw away all of my spot drying lotions, and honestly, my skin has never looked better. I find using a combination of azelaic acid and tranexamic acid in my skincare routine delivers all the healing benefits I need, minimizes the risk of hyperpigmentation, dark marks and scarring, And honestly, I find that my blemishes heal way, way quicker than when I was zapping and drying them out. I covered this powerful tranexamic and azelaic acid combo in a recent video, which I'll link up there. Definitely check that out. But having done away with the drying lotions, I've realised, having used them consistently for the best part of 20 years, I was actually damaging my skin, and my skin is far healthier, far quicker to heal. For now, I nourish it. I actually put hydration back in and treat that zit with a little bit of kindness and love, rather than actually, demonizing it and trying to strip every last vestiges of oil and moisture out of it. You might get that quick fix, but in the long term, I think we might be damaging our skin and risking scarring and hyperpigmentation. So, if like me, you're a little bit hooked on the drying lotions, just try it for yourself. Go to cold turkey, take it out of your skincare routine, and honestly, you'll see the benefits. So, there you have it, guys. I run down 5 sets of products that I honestly think could be doing more harm than good when it comes to your own skincare. Hopefully in this video, I've demonstrated that, infrequent use, if you really love these products, isn't going to damage your skin in any meaningful way. But if we overload it and use them too frequently, potentially we could. I've removed all of these from my skincare routine, and I think that my skin is the best it's ever been. So I would encourage you guys to experiment and do the same. I would love to know what your thoughts, feelings, and opinions are on anything mentioned in today's video, so sound off in the comment section below. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.